Good evening and welcome to the April 2022 meeting of the Omaha Public Power District Board of Directors. Thank you all for joining us in person at the Omaha Douglas Civic Center and remotely via WebEx. I hope you and your loved ones are staying safe and healthy. With me in person today are my fellow board members, Mike Kavanaugh, Sarah Howard, Janice Molhoff, Craig Moody, Mary Spurgeon, and Eric Williams. Rick Yoder is attending this event via remote virtual this evening. Thank you, Rick. We also have President and CEO Javier Fernandez, our General Counsel Steve Bruckner with the Fraser Stryker Law Firm, and members of our board meeting support staff. OPPD's executive leadership team and subject matter experts also are participating in today's meeting in person and via WebEx. Currently, we have 19 members of the public at the Civic Center. We have quite a few, and then 19 attendees on WebEx, consisting of OPPD employees and members of the public. As a reminder to board members, executive leadership team, and OPPD staff, please mute your microphones to reduce background noise. To members of the public, thank you for attending. You are in listen-only mode. If you have any technology questions, please use the chat feature in WebEx to communicate with the event host. If you are disconnected from the WebEx conference, we ask that you rejoin in the same manner as when you originally joined. I will now ask President Fernandez to provide the safety briefing for our location and other safety reminders.
Thank you, Chair Bogner, and I'm going to ask Josh Clark to do the safety briefing for this room, and then I will continue with the other.
Welcome all back after a long hiatus in person. It's good to see everyone. As we like to do in previous meetings, we'll start off with a quick safety briefing for those of us in the room. We've conducted these safety briefings in the past. The board members as well as the members of OPPD's team are well aware of those procedures, but just as a reminder, we do have emergency exits on either side of the room. Also at those locations are first aid and fire suppression materials. In addition to that, our team has provided some additional first aid materials if they would be needed. In the event of any type of emergency, please, you can look to myself or my other corporate security representative, Amber, in the back of the room. We're happy to direct people to the locations of the fire exits and severe weather locations as well. And we also have members of the civic building outside of the doors to help us too. In addition to that, we always advise people watching virtually that it's always a good idea to make sure that they are aware of where their first aid equipment and fire suppression materials are in the event of an emergency, and also to have plans in place for other types of emergencies while at home. And of course, if you are watching the meeting alone, it's also a recommendation that to have a trusted family member or friend also be aware of your whereabouts in the case of an emergency as well. Thank you again. It's good to see everyone, and have a great meeting.
Thank you, Josh. And a couple of safety reminders. For all of you who are online, as I mentioned on Tuesday, if you're experiencing a medical event or have trouble with your health, it is very hard for anyone on the call to assist you unless we have information about you. So I encourage those of you who are attending online to make sure that someone on the call has a way to assist you, whether by sharing your phone number of a loved one, or your address. Of course, it's all voluntary, but I think it's a good practice in this age of virtual meetings. We've already talked about the physical safety. I will go into the psychological safety reminders. And as I mentioned on Tuesday, there are many of these. Psychological safety is incredibly important at OPPD, probably just as, if not more important than physical safety. On Tuesday, I focused on number 5, which is earn and extend trust. Admit when you do not know something, and admit when you're wrong. And this is something that it's a healthy practice for all of us here at OPPD to make sure that we're always working with each other, challenging assumptions, making sure that we are taking into account as much information as we can as we make decisions. The next slide, Ms. Sanders, please. Our safety focus for April continues to be on reducing sprains, strains, and tears. The weather is changing very quickly on us, and ice turns into water, that turns into ice, that turns into fog, and the conditions are prime for this type of accidents. Preparing for severe weather. We've already experienced quite a bit of that high wind storms in Nebraska. This is the season, so I encourage you to all be aware of shelter, where you can take shelter in case of a tornado. And if you're out and about in your vehicle, always try to make sure that you know what the closest shelter you have as you're traveling. And overall wellness, the first Wednesday of April was National Walking Day, and it's a day that it's meant to encourage people to get out and walk. So please consider developing your own walking routine and take steps towards a healthier life. I know I have, especially in this era of WebEx meetings. I have to make a conscious effort to get up and walk and stretch for a better health. So that concludes my safety briefing, Chair Bogner.
All right, thank you. Now let's run through our guidelines for the conduct of the meeting. This regular board meeting will follow the agenda made available to the public on OPPD.com. This meeting is being conducted in person with WebEx conferencing and is being recorded. Our board meetings have public comment periods on the agenda. Comments made by all parties during the meeting are a part of the official public record. After board discussion on each pending matter, I will ask for public comment before bringing the matter to a vote. Also, before we adjourn, there will be an opportunity to comment on any other matters of district business. We will take comments in the room and via WebEx. Let's first review the two options for WebEx attendees to notify us. Option 1, which is being displayed now, involves sending the meeting technology host a message using the chat feature, simply stating that you wish to speak. Ms. Henners?
Thank you, Chair Bogner. For those who have joined us using a computer or WebEx mobile app, you will find a button in your WebEx interface to open the chat panel. Once opened, you may send your message to the meeting technology host. Requests to provide comments will be relayed to Chair Bogner for recognition during the public comments section.
Okay, option 2, which is being displayed now, involves the hand raise feature. Ms. Henners?
WebEx allows attendees to virtually raise their hand. You may use this feature to indicate to OPPD that you wish to be recognized to provide comments. The hand raise button can be found in the lower control bar of WebEx. After you have provided your comments, please press the hand raise button again to virtually lower your hand. And for those who have joined the meeting using only a telephone, WebEx has a hand raise feature that is activated by pressing *3 to raise and lower your hand. When we see your hand raised, we will acknowledge you by referencing a portion of your phone number. For example, caller with a phone number beginning in 402-123. If you wish to provide comments when recognized, please wait a brief moment to be unmuted and begin speaking. At this time, if you would like to try using the hand raise feature, please do so as a test.
I'll allow plenty of time at each opportunity for public comment for members of the public to provide notification via WebEx. When I call on a member of the public to speak, our meeting technology host will unmute your microphone. Before commencing your comments, I suggest you first affirm that we can hear you. Please state your name and address and state the name of any organization or person you are representing. Organizations should choose one representative to speak on their behalf. Each individual will be allotted 3 minutes per matter pending at the discretion of the board. To assist you, we will display a timer on the WebEx screen to ensure each member of the public receives a consistent amount of time. Ms. Henners will signal you when 30 seconds remain, as well as when time is up. For in-person attendees, if you wish to make a comment, please line up behind the microphone. Please state your name, address, and the name of any organization or person you represent. You'll be allotted 3 minutes per matter pending, and to assist you, we'll use the timer that will be displayed on the screen. Ms. Henners will signal you when 30 seconds remain. Please direct your comments to me. I will either respond to you directly or defer response to another board member or officer of the district. The board values and welcomes civil, respectful, clear, and concise communication from the public. During public comments, speakers should refrain from repetitive, profane, or irrelevant comments. Speakers shall refrain from polling the board as such vote is not on the agenda and is prohibited by law. If you have written materials, please email them to Ms. Henners at mfhenners, that's mfhinners @oppd.com, and she will receive them on our behalf. For those at the Omaha Douglas Civic Center, please hand your materials to Ms. Henners. In summary, we will take WebEx comments first, then in-room comments, and then have a last call. Ms. Henners, will you please take the roll call?
Bogner,
Here.
Kavanaugh,
Here.
Howard,
Here.
Mulhoff,
Here.
Moody,
Here.
Spurgeon. Here. Williams,
Here.
Yoder.
Here.
Notice of the time and place of this meeting was publicized by notifying the area news media, by publicizing same in the Omaha World Herald, OPPD outlets newsletter, OPPD.com, and social media, by displaying such notice on the arcade level of Energy Plaza, and by emailing such notice to each of the district's directors on April 15th, 2022. A copy of the proposed agenda for this meeting has been maintained on a current basis and is readily available for public inspection in the office of the district's corporate secretary. Additionally, a copy of the Open Meetings Act is available for inspection on oppd.com and in this meeting room. The consent agenda items for this evening are as follows. Item 6, approval of the January and February 2022 comprehensive financial and operating reports, March 2022 meeting minutes, and the April 21st, 2022 agenda. Item 7, SD1 Strategic Foundation Monitoring Report, Resolution number 6493. Item 8, Board Policies Binder Update, Non-Substantive Changes, Resolution number 6494. Item 9, Authorization for Additional District Financing, Resolution number 6495. Item 10, Sale of Real Property at 12210 South 114th Street Papillion, Sarpy County, Nebraska, Resolution number 6496. Item 11, Acquisition of land rights for Enterprise Operations Technology Communications Network asset located in Weston Sarpy County, Resolution number 6497. And item 12, RFP number 495948, 6913.8 kV, 1012.5 MVA transformer, Resolution number 6498. If there are no corrections, changes, or additions to the consent agenda items, I need a motion and a second to approve.
So moved. Second.
We discussed these action items at the All Committees meeting on Tuesday, April 19th. Do any members of the public have comments on these consent agenda items? If you would like to make a comment, please send a chat to the meeting host or use the hand raise feature in WebEx. Telephone users can press *3 to raise their hand. Are there any requests to chat?
I do not see any hand raises or chats.
Okay.
Bogner,
Yes.
Kavanaugh,
Yes.
Howard,
Yes.
Mulhoff,
Yes.
Moody,
Yes.
Spurgeon,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Yoder.
Yes.
Agenda item 13, SD4 Reliability Monitoring Report, Resolution number 6499. Now therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Directors of the Omaha Public Power District hereby accepts the SD4 Reliability Monitoring Report in the form as set forth on Exhibit A attached hereto and made a part hereof, and finds OPPD to be sufficiently in compliance with the policy as stated.
Do I have a
Yep.
motion
Motion?
and a second?
Second.
Director Williams?
Great, thank you. SD4 focuses on the reliability of our services for our residential, commercial, and industrial customers. We talked about this in the Systems Committee and then again in the All-Committee meeting on Tuesday. There are specific metrics that the district focuses on, and the review on Tuesday, the directors agreed that we are sufficiently compliant with the metrics and that we are moving in a positive direction as we look toward the future, understanding that our system is changing and that we need policy updates so that we can continue to make the improvements that are necessary to stay in alignment with other strategic directives while we maintain the high reliability of our system. So we do expect an update to this policy in the future, but at this time, the Systems Committee recommends that we accept the monitoring report as sufficiently compliant this year and that we approve the resolution that was presented.
All right, thank you. Director Spurgeon.
Thank you, Director Wagner, for this opportunity to comment on the SD4 Reliability Monitoring Report. Just two quick comments about this report. First, Vice President Vi, I think that you have been so wise to create an asset management council to help decide the priorities for servicing and maintaining our generation fleet, as well as the vast network of transmission lines of all types and sizes, including those in backyards, for which OPPD is responsible. Second, the decision to put more resources into vegetation management seems to have served us well, and I dare say it will continue to do so in the future. Just want to express my appreciation to all involved in strengthening OPPD's reliability position. Thank you. That completes my remarks.
Thank you very much. Director Moody.
Thank you, Chair Wagner. I'll be brief as well. In reflecting on this, I couldn't help but really kind of step back and admire just the magnitude of what it takes to keep our system up and running. From plants to distribution to transmission, vegetation, there's just so much involved. So I wanted to first sort of honor just how big of an accomplishment this is. Second, to express some gratitude to those people that work hard every day, day in, day out, to keep the lights on for people. It is no small feat. It takes every single minute of the day requires that level of diligence, and I really appreciate that work. And then third, for our customer owners, we talked about this on Tuesday, but I want to reiterate one thing. Top quartile performance, both in terms of the duration of outages and the frequency, which is to say, the duration of our outages is decreasing over time on a 3-year rolling average, and the frequency of those outages occurring is also decreasing. So I was really, really pleased with the results, and I admire all of the good work that goes into it. Thank you.
Thank you. President Fernandez.
Thank you, Chair Wagner. Really quick, behind all the numbers and behind all the metrics, there's 1,900 individuals who day in and day out work on providing reliable, affordable, and environmentally sensitive energy service to our customer owners. And last year it was a tough year. It was a really tough year. We had record storms. I remember that very well in July. And then we had a 2021 polar vortex. In December, we had tornadoes, tornado force winds. And on every single one of those occasions, our women and men at OPPD rose to the occasion and made sure that as our customer owners are taking shelter, they are getting ready to go out and restore power. And that, to me, that's really the heart of this reliability. I really appreciate the comments from the board, and we need to measure these somehow, and we have statistics, but I really want to commend and tell the organization how proud I am of the results that we achieved, especially in a year like last year. Let's hope this year it treats us a little bit better.
Thank you. Okay, we'll move on to the public comment period now. Do any members of the public have any comments on this action item? If you would like to make a comment, please send a chat to the meeting host or use the hand raise feature in WebEx. Telephone users can press *3. Are there any requests to make a comment?
Not see any hand raises.
Okay, Ms. Henners, will you please call roll? Oh. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Would any person here in person like to make a comment? Please move towards the microphone. I see no one making motion, so we're good to roll call.
Wagner,
Yes.
Kavanaugh,
Yes.
Howard,
Yes.
Molhoff,
Yes.
Moody,
Yes.
Spurgeon,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Yoder.
Yes.
Agenda item 14, SD5 Customer Satisfaction Monitoring Report, Resolution number 6500. Now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Directors accepts the SD5 Customer Satisfaction Monitoring Report in the form as set forth on Exhibit A attached hereto and made a part hereof, and finds OPPD to be sufficiently in compliance with the policy as stated.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
All right, Director Molhoff.
So as President Hernandez said, 2021 was a really difficult year, but with three major weather events and continued COVID pandemic that has impacted many families and businesses' finances, the entire OPPD organization has a role in customer satisfaction. So it is commendable that the OPPD has achieved first quartile rating for residential service among peer utilities. Every employee of OPPD should be congratulated for this achievement and for improvements in communication, especially during the storm events and when customers are experiencing difficulty paying bills. So thank you to the organization, and I'm proud to support this resolution.
Thank you, Director Molhoff. Director Smirchin.
Thank you. First, I appreciate the really clear way in which the information was presented and the way it was laid out. This is what we've been working on. This is where we are. This is where we'll be working next. Second, when Vice President McGarvey was speaking about the metric of interacting with customer owners in a respectful, dignified, and civilized manner, I was especially struck by his characterization of the target goal of 98% as aggressive. Well, it sure is. As an educator, I took classes all my life. Always I aimed for 100% on my coursework, but I felt that a 94% score on an assignment was not bad. A 97% was better, and a 98% was really pretty good. That's when I was completely responsible for the product that I submitted to my teachers. OPPD's frontline customer service people face a different situation. They interact with people who, on one end of the continuum, may simply be requesting information. On the other end of the continuum, they deal with people who are distraught or angry. That is such a tough job. I commend them for their ratings in the mid 90 percentile range that they received from our customer owners. I am proud for them, and I hope they feel the same way about themselves. Third, I am delighted, not surprised, to learn that the customer service representatives receive ongoing training. It's my feeling that people want to feel competent and successful in the work that they do, and it's great to know that our customer service division is supported in this way. Thank you.
Thank you. Director Moody.
Thank you, Director Bogner. Well said. Director Molhoff, you teed this up nicely. It was a heck of a year to work in this field, and I really appreciate how hard that job can be when you're really working with people to work through some of the most challenging things that they have to deal with. So I have the utmost respect for those people that do that work. This is not simply about call center folks, though, right? These numbers are kind of a mix of different things: power, quality, and reliability, price, billing and payment, corporate citizenship, communications, and customer care. So it's a whole stew of work that really comprises our customer care numbers. And again, to reiterate what was said earlier, first quartile performance, which in the residential sector, which is really exceptional. So again, I just wanted to express my gratitude for the hard work. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. So at this time, I would like to ask if any members of the public have comments on this action item. If you would like to make a comment, please send a chat to the meeting host or use the hand raise feature in WebEx. Telephone users can press *3 to raise their hand. I'll ask the question. Do we have any requests to make a comment via WebEx?
No chats or hand raises.
Thank you. Would any people in the audience here like to come to the podium and make a comment on this action item? I'm seeing no one make a move. Ms. Henners, will you please take the roll call?
Bogner,
Yes.
Kavanaugh,
Yes.
Howard,
Yes.
Molhoff,
Yes.
Moody,
Yes.
Spurgeon,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Yoder.
Yes.
Agenda item 15, appointment of Kevin S. McCormick as Vice President, Safety and Facilities Management and Compensation Approval, Resolution number 6501. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Directors of the Omaha Public Power District that the appointment of Kevin S. McCormick as Vice President, Safety and Facilities Management and the compensation as set forth on the attached exhibit be and hereby are approved effective May 1st, 2022.
So moved.
Second.
All right, Director Moody.
Thank you, Chair Bogner. Colleagues, here's logistics. Here's how this is going to go down today. We've got three exceptional people who we have an opportunity to talk about today. So in the interest of keeping this relatively clean, we're going to talk about all three of them all at once right now. But we'll still need three separate resolutions. So that's how we're going to approach this today. I'll be super brief. These three individuals, Kevin McCormick, Mikkel Pinder, and Brad Underwood, are really exceptional people who I'm very excited to have on our executive leadership team. It's always been my mentality as a board member to give the CEO, to give you, Javier, this is your team. And we hire you, and I trust you to bring to us the decisions that you want to make to assemble a really good team, and I think you've done that. I feel like I said that many times over a year ago, 2 years ago, but I'm really excited about this group of people that you've assembled to lead this organization, and for those three that we're talking about today, stand out as well. I'm really excited about the work that they've done, that all three of you have done, and I'm even more excited about the work that is ahead of you. We've got a lot of work ahead of us collectively, and the three areas that you supervise and oversee are very, very important. So I'll pause, and Javier, I don't know if you want to kind of add a little color with respect to what we're going to do here.
Yes, thank you, Director Moody, and thank you for the opportunity to talk not only about the positions, the appointments, the salary approvals, but really to talk about the fantastic qualities that we have in these three individuals. Kevin, I've had the honor to work side by side with you from day one when I joined OPPD. You've been on the senior management team, now the executive leadership team, and I've always been impressed by your professionalism, your focus on safety, the passion you have for our people. Ultimately, this goes beyond your job as leading our safety organization, but I have seen you as a human being caring for 1,900 other people, making sure that they have an opportunity to go home to their loved ones. You see employees not as employees, but as moms and dads and brothers, sisters, who have loved ones at home that to go to. And you've done a fantastic job helping lead the organization. I am very excited now with the realignment of functions, having facilities management and emergency preparedness under your supervision. I have no doubt that these new functions will flourish. So I'm very, very excited. I think it's something that, again, echoing Director Moody's comments, the appointment of vice president is one that makes perfect sense at this point with the expanded responsibilities that you have. And I couldn't be prouder to have served on the SMT with you for many years and now to have you on my team. I'm going to go on to Ms. Pinder, who, again, Mikkel. Yes, we're going to have comments on all three just to expedite, and then we'll read the resolution, each one. If that's okay. Ms. Pinder, Mikkel, you joined the executive leadership team not in the best of circumstances, not one that we would have ever planned after the passing of our dear colleague, Mart Setke. And I still remember having conversations with Mart about us being in good hands with you at the helm. And so very, very excited that you joined. You joined as a senior director, and you've been serving in that position for 9 months. You've continued to demonstrate your development as a level 4 leader. I am very pleased and very comfortable presenting your nomination to the board today because that is exactly the leadership that we need in our human capital team. It's both strategic and really focused on operational. And I think there isn't a better leader at this point to lead that business unit. And last but not least, Bradley. When I call him Bradley, he always thinks, am I in trouble? Brad, again, you've never hesitated when I approached you and I told you, hey, there's this new idea that I have cooking in my mind about this business unit. I'm thinking about calling it the Systems Transformation Business Unit. And I'm like, what? And we've developed this new business unit, which is so needed. It's functions that existed in the company for many, many years, but for the first time, we're putting them all together. The type of transformation that our board has asked us to achieve requires a great deal of planning. And the engineers, the women and men that are working in your team on designing and planning our distribution, transmission, generation systems, and alternative energy, and all this new technology that's coming our way, needs careful and coordinated planning. And you did not hesitate one bit when I asked you to serve in that position as senior director. And I've been very pleased to see the evolution, the leadership evolution into this level 4 vice president role that I am very comfortable presenting today to the board. And I appreciate you all, board members, considering these resolutions for approval and appointment of each one of these individuals. I try to be brief. Thank you.
Okay, you good? All right,
I'm good.
thank you. Director Kavanaugh.
Thank you, Amanda. First, I want to congratulate all three of the folks being promoted today and also their families. You're all three valued employees, and just as important, I've gotten to know each of you and consider you all very good people. That's just as important to me as the other. I look forward to working with each of you in the future. Again, congratulations.
All right, thank you. As you were taking your new position last year, you and I talked a lot about the changes that you were thinking about making. And he kind of shared that vision and the idea related to the systems transformation and what he has in mind for human capital, and then the role of safety evolving to also cover our facilities and that. And I think that those changes are very important for the organization, but more importantly, he found 3 really great individuals to fill those roles and execute on those functions and really hold that responsibility, because it's a lot of responsibility on your shoulders. So thank you very much for stepping into this role with us, and we're excited to have you on the executive leadership team in these functions. All right, with that, we will now turn to public comment period. So do any members of the public have comments on this action item? So this action item being the resolution for Kevin McCormick. If you would like to make a comment, please send a chat to the meeting host or use the hand raise feature in WebEx. Telephone users can press *3 to raise their hand. Are there any requests to make a comment?
There are no chats or hand raises.
Okay. If any in-person member or a member of the public would like to make a comment, please move towards the podium. No one's moving. So Ms. Henners, will you call roll?
Wagner,
Yes.
Kavanaugh.
Yes.
Howard,
Yes.
Mulhall,
Yes.
Moody,
Yes.
Spurgeon,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Yoder.
Yes.
Agenda item 16.
I'm sorry. Can we please have
Yes.
time for Mr. McCormick to come and address the audience if he so wishes? Thank you. I am off my game today.
Chair Bogner and members of the board, I sincerely want to thank you for this vote of confidence tonight. I also want to thank Javier, our CEO, Fernandez. I really appreciate it. I've been with OPPD for 35 years in August, and I've had the opportunity to serve in many functions along the way. And the one thing, common thread through all those different career changes I did is the people. The employees of OPPD are just fantastic, and they keep me jazzed up every day when I come to work. And really, that's what makes it the company it is. And I'm really proud of that. The other thing I'm really proud about is I started the company as an entry-level craft person at Fort Calhoun. And so I feel when I'm out in the field and talking to people, I've walked in their shoes. And the men and women of this company have a very difficult job every day. And I listen to them and I care for them. And I'm just proud to be part of that gang, really. So, and I can't leave out my family. They're with me today. So I have 3 daughters with me tonight. My daughter Meredith and her husband Mike. My daughter Reagan and her husband Matt, or Max. He's new. They just got married 2 weeks ago. And then my youngest daughter, Peyton, and most of all, my best friend and wife, Jill's with me tonight. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Now we are ready for the next one. Thank you.
All right, agenda item 16, appointment of Mikkel V. Pinder as Vice President, Human Capital and Compensation Approval, resolution number 6502. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Directors of the Omaha Public Power District that the appointment of Mikkel V. Pinder as Vice President, Human Capital and the compensation as set forth on the attached exhibit be and are hereby approved effective May 1st, 2022.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Okay, so since we already had our board discussion, we will move on into public comment period. Do any members of the public have any comments on this action item? If you would like to make a comment, please send a chat to the meeting host or use the hand raise feature in WebEx. Telephone users can press *3 to raise their hand. Are there any requests to make a comment?
There are no chats or hand raises.
Okay. If members of the public in the room would like to make a comment, please move towards the podium. And no one's making a move, so we will go ahead and run the roll.
Bogner,
Yes.
Kavanaugh,
Yes.
Howard,
Yes.
Mulhall,
Yes.
Moody,
Yes.
Spurgeon,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Yoder.
Yes.
Ms. Pender, would you like to address the audience?
Good evening, Chair Bogner, members of the Board of Directors, my awesome CEO. Good evening again. My peers today, we were jesting in the chat about what CSO might stand for. And we were talking about what S might have meant, and we got squiggly, security, and a few other things. Tonight, for me, the S will stand for servant, Chief Servant Officer. So I stand here before you tonight humbly to not only appreciate, I'm humbly appreciating and I'm full of gratitude regarding the opportunity to serve each and every customer of OPPD, each and every customer owner at OPPD, and for me to serve 1,879, that's as of today, employees at OPPD. As you have already mentioned, we have a momentous task before us. And I think that each and every one of us, each member of the executive team, as well as the employees who serve alongside us, we are not only committed, we are excited about the opportunity to do so. And so with that, I would like to thank my CEO for having faith in me. I assure you that I will not let you down. To the awesome team who serves alongside me, I am forever in your gratitude. Thank you for all the lessons you've imparted thus far. And I am sure that there will be many more to come. Ultimately, I am here because of a number of people who could not be here with me today. However, they are far, but they're close and in my heart. My parents, who have served as a continuous source of support for me in many ways. And ultimately, it is because of Mart Zetke that I stand here today. And so I'm always thinking about her. I'm always channeling her. And I want us to always remember her and remember what she meant to OPPD and what she did for us. So with that, again, I say thank you again, and I promise to serve and serve you well. Thank you again.
All right, go ahead.
Our final agenda item, 17, appointment of Bradley R. Underwood as Vice President, Systems Transformation and Compensation Approval, Resolution Number 6503. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Directors of the Omaha Public Power District that the appointment of Bradley R. Underwood as Vice President, Systems Transformation and the compensation as set forth on the attached exhibit be and are hereby approved effective May 1st, 2022.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All right. Similar process, we will move right into the public comment period. So if any members of the public have comments on this action item, please make a comment. Please send a chat to the meeting host or use the hand raise feature in WebEx. Telephone users can press *3 to raise their hand. Are there any requests to chat?
We do not have any chats or hand raises.
Okay. If any member of the member of the public in the room would like to make a comment in person, please move towards the podium. And there's nobody moving. So, Ms. Henners, will you please call roll?
Wagner,
Yes.
Kavanaugh,
Yes.
Howard,
Yes.
Mulhall,
Yes.
Moody,
Yes.
Spurgeon,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Yoder.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right. Mr. Underwood, would you like to address the board?
Good evening, Director Bogner and the board and CEO Fernandez. I am humbled, I'm grateful, I'm excited. I've been through a lot of evolutions with many of you, and I have a clear understanding of the role, and I'm ready to lean into it. I also wanted to thank and recognize my wife. I thank God for her every day, and I couldn't pursue my passions at work without my wife, and so I wanted to thank her deeply and authentically for that. I remember when I joined OPPD a little over 8.5 years ago, I knew I was coming to a great company and I was excited, but I didn't know what I would find. And so as I've gone through the last 8 or 9 years, I've had different experiences in different locations with different people. But much like was discussed earlier, the transcendent commonality is people, competent, engaged, hardworking, committed, friends, neighbors, relatives, all here in Eastern Nebraska. And the more I am a part of the public power model, the more beautiful it gets. And I'm very excited for that. Briefly, as we look into the future, we can see the transformation all over the system. The assets that are on the system itself, the bulk electric system, the distribution system, enabling customer choice, enhancing and improving reliability, all in the pursuit of affordable, reliable, and environmentally sensitive energy services. And I get a very good natural high off that. And I look forward to many more years of that as long as you'll let me. But I wanted to thank you again for the opportunity this evening, and I'm excited and energized about it. Thank you.
All right. Now I will invite President Fernandez to provide the president's report.
Thank you, Chair Bogner. Just a note in advance, this report is a little bit longer than usual. There's a lot of activity to report, so I'm going to try to go through it as fast as I can, but also without skipping important information here. As always, I report on our March baseload generation. Nebraska City Unit 1 and 2 were both in the 57-58% of baseload generation. We did have a few issues with both units on small derates, but they operated as expected. North Omaha Unit 4 had the highest capacity factor of 63.9%. That unit operated mostly all month. North Omaha Unit 5, that's a very low capacity factor, and that is on purpose. North Omaha Unit 5 underwent a planned outage in the month of March. that unit returned to service, and it's up and running, serving our customer owners this afternoon. The next slide, our March peaking generation. We're going to start calling that balancing generation because we really don't just run them when we have peaks. It's to balance the system. 0, 0, 0, 0. A lot of zeros in there. We did have our Sarpy County unit did operate a little bit in the month of March of 1.4. We are actually, a lot of these zeros are planned. We actually are doing work, preparing one of our Cass County units, and both Jones Street units are out. One of the Cass County units, Unit 2, is out on planned outages. We are preparing those units for the summer, which is probably when we're going to need them more to help us balance the system. All of them are operating well, and we want them to be ready for the summer season. March renewables, as we talked about earlier, it's been windy, very windy. The vast majority of our renewable portfolio is wind generation. Renewable energy contributed 45.6% of OPPD's retail energy sales in the month of March. Almost half of our load served by renewable energies in the month of March. Wind capacity factor of 55.9%. Our capacity factor for community solar was 18.6%, as expected. So again, our renewable portfolio performing as expected in aggregate for OPPD. OPPD received safety awards. These one, I knew about these at the last board meeting, but it hadn't officially been awarded to us. So Kevin McCormick asked me to hold off until the award was official. So it is official now. OPPD has earned the American Public Power Association Safety Award of Excellence for safe operating practices during 2021, ranking 3rd among similar sized utilities. This is a very high honor. The American Public Power Association is a very highly regarded organization of over 1,000 utilities in the United States, and to receive this recognition it doesn't happen by accident. No pun intended. The other one is we received again the recognition from the National Safety Council, the Nebraska chapter, as one of Nebraska's safest companies. The award is given to companies who have implemented safety initiatives designed to reduce injuries and save lives. I am very, very proud of these. I am proud, I'm happy, but I'm not satisfied. There's always work to do in the area of safety. It is great to get these recognitions because it's telling us we're doing something right. It gives us the opportunity to go and travel and share our practices to other utilities. Just this a couple of days ago, one of the members of Kevin's team, Reno Jameson, was down speaking at an RMEL safety conference. So we are being recognized in the industry, and that is fantastic for us to be able to share our practices and results on safety. Next slide, please. Greener Together. We talked about this program quite a bit last month during committee meeting. We are excited to launch our new Greener Together program that connects community members and organizations to collectively build a greener community. For members that choose to participate in this optional program, they will contribute funds monthly. Again, this is optional, and our customer owners, we have a lot of people who are excited about these. They will contribute funds monthly, and these funds collected go towards selecting and supporting green projects within our community and OPPD's territory. Based on the amount that members contribute, they receive benefits such as voting and selecting of projects to be funded through the Greener Together program. This is truly a community program that really looks at bringing in the voice from customer owners who participate. Local organizations have the opportunity to apply for funding to support green initiatives like HOA, solar gardens, energy efficiency, beautification and tree planting, sustainability, parks, and much more. If you're interested, members of the public are interested, additional program information can be found at oppd.com/GTP, which stands for Greener Together Program. Next slide, please. Honoring our community, I think a lot was said about our employees and their commitment, their passion to serve, caring for each other, and this was certainly demonstrated in the month of March. On Thursday, March 24th, OPPD employees volunteered their time to support United Way of the Midlands. The Shine Bright Care Kit for Kids event brought 400 plus volunteers together over 3 days to assemble 4,000 hygiene kits for local area school children in need. With more than 70 volunteers, and you don't see them all here on the picture, but there were more than 70 of them, OPPD had the largest organizational presence in that event. Very proud to see them all wearing their orange shirts, and very proud of the team. Per the United Way staff, OPPD filling up 70 slots is absolutely amazing and leads all organization participating. Thank you for your work in getting the word out on these and for everything else you do for the community. Another example of honoring our community, it's Connecting the Dots, which is an event that was held on April 8th at Peru State College in the southern part of our service territory at their student center. Approximately 160 students from the Humboldt, Table, Rocksteiner, Johnson Brock, Johnson County, Central Nebraska, Nebraska City, Lourdes, Palmyra, Bennett, Lewiston, and Sterling High Schools participated in this day-long event, which was sponsored by OPPD and the Gateway Development Corporation, which is the economic development agency down in the southern part of our territory. The program is facilitated by the Nebraska Extension and professionals in partnership with local businesses and industry representatives and government representatives as well. This is an event, it's an interactive career exploration. It's to show the different career options that students have, designed to help 9th and 10th grade students learn more about careers of interest, as well as how to connect the dots from the 9th grade through post-secondary study to the workplace. The program has two parts. One is simulation and career readiness workshops. And the other one is, one is a simulation and the other one is career readiness workshops. The next slide, the Greater Omaha Chamber Business Excellence Award. This is another one. We are very proud to share that we have been awarded the Business Excellence Award by the Greater Omaha Chamber. The Chamber bestows these honors on local businesses who excel in the areas of leadership, innovation, and philanthropy. OPPD was a recipient of the award in 2020 for leadership and philanthropy. And in 2021, OPPD was honored among the other local organizations celebrating milestone anniversaries in anticipation of our 75th anniversary in December of last year. This year, OPPD received the award for philanthropy once again. I am pleased to accept this honor at the Chamber celebration on May 5th. We'll have an event with the Chamber in recognition for all the ways our employees give back to the community. I know also our board members do the same thing. Moving on to the next item, this is very special. We just talked about SD4 reliability, and I think there is no better fitting month for us to do that. That also the same month where we celebrated Line Worker Appreciation Day. This was celebrated, OPPD celebrated Nebraska Line Worker Appreciation Day on April 11th and National Line Worker Appreciation Day on April 18th for our line workers. We received numerous positive comments on social media that you are seeing here from customers thanking line workers for their hard work and dedication. On that same vein, appreciating line workers, veteran line tech Bruce Hamill will be retiring in May after nearly a 35-year career on the lines with OPPD. And we have many OPPD employees who retire, but I want to highlight Bruce because I think he really encompasses a lot of what our line workers do, and someone who's retiring and reflecting on his career. Bruce got to know Danielle B. Iski from our corporate marketing communications team, and he asked her to come over and help with a photo op to commemorate his career at OPPD. He wanted to have a reminder of his many friends he worked with at OPPD, and actually he invited a few retirees as well. And it was a great opportunity for line workers to get together and really celebrate what we do. Of course, that day was a sunny day. We didn't have outages, and it was a good opportunity for them to do these. I want to thank Bruce and all of our line workers for all they do to keep the power on. Also, as Bruce mentioned in the story that we published on the online, Thanks to the families who are also making sacrifices and don't get the recognition. Director Kavanaugh, your comments about families when we were talking about our VPs, I think it goes along with all employees. And I think I really thank you for making that comment. It's really the wives, the husbands, the sons, the daughters of line workers who have to stay home at night when their loved ones are out restoring power. They miss birthdays. They sometimes miss soccer games or baseball practices, all in an effort to support customer owners. So please join me as we watch these small videos, less than a minute, honoring OPPD's line workers. And I'll ask just for a little bit of grace while Ms. Hinders switches. Thank you, Ms. Hinders, for that. If you're wondering, that was done at our Elkhorn Service Center. We have a yard for training, and this is where the video was filmed and the photos were taken. Next, wow, you're good, switching. Okay, finally got this technology figured out. I would like to spend a little bit of time updating you and the public on work we've been doing on our roughly 30-year vision. It's not quite 30 years, it's Powering the Future of 2050, so now we have a little less than 28 years to go. We've mentioned it a few times in our board committee meetings, and we call it Powering the Future of 2050. I'm going to refer to it as PF 2050 for short. Next slide. Very simply put, for the past 18 plus months, I would say almost 24 months now, OPPD leadership has worked with futurist economist Rebecca Ryan to better understand the long-term trends and forces that could shape OPPD and our region's future. We used a very methodical approach, one that it was new for OPPD, certainly not new for the region. This is the same approach that the Omaha Chamber used in their visioning processes. This is called the foresight process that helps us better understand what we might need to respond to in the future and how these might shape a longer-term vision. We also got input from our employees and customer owners about their desires for the future. In November, we began to share the results of our analysis and vision work with our broader employee base, which includes 6 guiding levers. These levers help comprise our long-term direction or North Star, and I'm going to review those here shortly. Before I do that, let me repeat what I continue to tell employees all the time. This is not a plan. We couldn't possibly create a 28-year plan. We would be wrong in the very first minute after we created that plan. So this is really not a plan, it's a vision. And it's a common vision that should help us all develop plans to achieve that vision and be ready to adapt to the different realities that may come our way in the next 28 or so years. We don't know exactly what the future holds for OPPD. Many things will come our way. Technological advancements and demographic changes, many things that we haven't even started to imagine. Think about 28 years ago. Where were you 28 years ago? It was 1994. And many things that we were doing back there, we could never imagine the future that we have today. And I think it's in the same vein that the 2050 will come our way. However, that's not an excuse for us not to plan and not to dream and have a vision for what OPPD could be in 2050 and how we could be serving our customer owners then. Our first crossover lever is a cleaner world. Every choice we make leads to a cleaner world. We all want to live in a world that preserves and enhances the natural beauty all around us. And we must continue to focus on that. Doing that is not easy, and it will take quite a bit of time and a lot of talent to continue to achieve that. to pursue that. The next one is customer freedom. Now, it sounds provocative, I know, but customer freedom it isn't about doing away with public power at all. This is customer freedom where we are providing a future where OPPD provides a robust and intuitive platform from which customers can choose. They can optimize, they can understand their energy services. This helps us give our customer owners the ability to choose to stay on the grid, off the grid, or somewhere in between, with many products and services that are yet still to be developed. But it's all about giving our customer owners options. The next crossover lever is perfect power. It's another one. It sounds fantastic, but it is about creating a reliable, resilient, and secure energy ecosystem that enables interactive services and intelligent solutions. This is where reliability, resiliency, and technology meet. Really hard to achieve, and we've seen these in storms when we've had outages. It's not easy to maintain the system and really to achieve and aim to provide perfect power. Now, perfect power is in the eye of the beholder, and it must be tailored to individual customer owners' needs, right? You need perfect power when you really need it, but maybe not when you're not at home. So how do we work with customer owners and understand what perfect power is, and making sure that we are doing everything that we're striving to achieve that vision of perfect power by 2050. The next crossover lever. So the first three are, in my mind, these are ways in which our customer owners will experience OPPD. They're very clearly focused on that external view. In order for us to achieve that, there are three crossover levers that we must work diligently on. There are many other things that we do in the company, and we do really good work, but these three specifically stood out as key areas of focus for us to achieve this vision. First one is digitally driven. This is about creating an environment where our technology securely delivers what our customers and businesses want and need, while ensuring that we're embracing good asset management and delivering what really matters. In our ideal, we would be the best tech company in the region who happens to specialize in energy services. That clearly is the way that many other service providers in many other industries have gone. And this is one that the more technology continues to evolve, the clearer that vision is for me, that we really need to aim to be that amazing technology company that will enable them to deliver our services, our mission in the best possible way. The fifth crossover lever is purpose-driven culture. We are public servants, and Mikkel called that out beautifully. We are public servants, and we exist to help keep our communities thriving. This focus area is about embracing workplace trends of the future while making sure we hire and keep those who are committed to our larger purpose in the world. OPPD, I believe we have a great advantage in this area. We already, what we do is honorable. What we do keeps people alive. It makes our economy work. It does so many things for our region. So our employees are, they should be excited. I know they are excited, and we have a challenge in front of us to make sure that we can continue to provide opportunities for all employees to continue to pursue not only a career at OPPD, but a career that really speaks to their heart, that is purpose-driven. We have one statistic that by 2025, we believe that 75% of our employees will be millennials. 3/4 of our employee base will be millennials by 2025. Half of this group, of this millennial group, have quoted purpose as their number one employee satisfaction driver. And so it's super important for us to keep this in mind, that people come to work, of course, for a salary, for a career, but they come to work more and more because of the purpose that OPPD has, the services that we deliver to our community. And last but not least, the last crossover lever is future-ready posture. This is about creating an outside-in perspective where we are drawing from all the insights that the world around us has to offer. We must become an ambidextrous organization, one that understands how to balance today's realities with a conceptual view of tomorrow and be super comfortable dealing in those two worlds. Right. The work that we do is complex and it takes a lot of our attention and time, sometimes every waking hour of the day. We must be diligent in creating that margin for our employees to think about the future. In addition to solving the problems of today, it's how do you think about ways that you could be doing your work differently and anticipating trends and testing and trying programs that will help us moving into the future before the future arrives to us and we have to react to it. So let me talk a little bit about what's next. This is just a very high level overview. I'm pretty sure that many of the things that I said may have caused you to think, I want to hear more about these. Well, good news is that we will have opportunities for people to learn more about these. Power in the Future will guide what we do for decades to come, and we are being intentional about how we bring our employees, our stakeholders, and community along with us. Most of 2022 will be focused on making sure all of our employees understand the vision, what it does and what it doesn't mean, and how it might shape our work in small ways and in large. Following our tried and true IAP2 framework that Ms. Lisa Olson has been so successful at implementing at OPPD, we will use that approach where we will educate and share our vision with different members of the public. We first want to have conversations with a few key partners and stakeholders who also have long-term plans that will shape our communities. Following those conversations, we will begin broader education efforts later this year and well into 2023. So we look forward to providing you with more updates as this exciting work progresses. I know, board members, you've received questions about what this Power in the Future 2050 means. It's coming. We're rolling it out to employees, and we will have many opportunities to have a robust discussion, have questions, and continue to build this vision together. Almost there. My last slide, as we always do, we honor those who we lost in the line of duty. Michael Formanak died on January 19, 1981, after making contact with a live circuit while working on a Padmont transformer on the west edge of Elkhorn. Michael was 36 years old and had been with OPPD for 12 years at the time of his death. He was survived by his wife, Carol, and his sons, Jason and Alan, his parents, 4 brothers, and 1 sister. Let this be a reminder of the dedication of all of our employees and the work they do and how important it is for all of us to continue to focus on having a safe work environment. And that concludes my president's report.
All right, thank you very much. All right, at this point, we are moving to the opportunities for comment on other items of district business. I would like to go ahead and invite our in-person attendees to make comments first, and then we will move to WebEx comments.
Ms. Henners, can you activate the Elmo? Or is it going? David Begley, customer owner, 4611 South 96th Street. I really enjoyed that video of the linemen. I think they are really great guys and they're very patriotic people, but they'd probably choke if they knew that your U10 solar development is going to be consistent, made of Chinese solar panels, which with the Department of Commerce order on anti-circumvention, that's probably not going to be delivered for a long time. But in any event, I want to call your attention to your strategic directive number 1, engage and communicate with our stakeholders, act transparently and with accountability. So I wanted to inform the public of your plan to spend $28 billion to save the planet Earth. So I contacted Scott Voorhees at KFAB. I said, well, you've got this written plan that means 3,800 megawatts of new wind and 3,000 megawatts of new solar. He said, or then he wrote me back. And then he said, yes, he checked with OPPD and they said your facts are incorrect. Well, I got the facts from you in your documents. And so I didn't appear on Cafe B. So today I have written a letter to Mr. Fernandez and the new HR person, Ms. Pender, asking for an investigation and find out who this employee is who lied to the media. You know, this is a government operation you have here, and you've got to be accountable and transparent. And I consider this a very serious matter. And since I have a few more seconds, if I was saving the planet Earth, I would take out a big ad in the World Herald and say, Bagley saves planet Earth, spends 28 billion. And I'm mystified as to why you refuse to do that. You know, your vision thing here today says you want to inform the public. You know, here's your chance. Tell people what you're planning on spending and how much wind and solar. And I'm on to your Cass County thing. And I really doubt that's ever going to get approved. So thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. Mr. Fernandez?
Thank you. Thank you, Chair Bogner. Just as a matter of correcting the record, we've never said we're going to spend $28 billion, right? I think it's important. I think it's something that I mentioned at the last board meeting. We have 15 strategic directives that our board has asked us to govern on. We have many, many different goals that we're trying to meet. One of them is Strategic Directive 7 that asked us to look at ways to achieve net zero by 2050. And that's exactly what we did. We engaged in a very lengthy process, developing different models, trying to figure out different ways in which we could possibly, one, meet the growing demand for electricity, that we don't know exactly how it's going to come up, but we have different scenarios to do that. And two, what are the different resources, the different choices that we may take gradually in the future to achieve this net zero reality? It was very important for us to, discover, is it even possible? And the answer was yes, it is possible. It's going to be very complex, and we don't have all the answers. So I just want to make sure that I continue to talk about how all these strategic initiatives play together and how we're trying to meet both affordability, access to capital, reliability, customer satisfaction, safety, environmental stewardship, employee relations, et cetera, et cetera. It's a complex balancing act, and I am very, very proud of what the team is doing. And I stand firm by this vision that I just explained. It excites me. We have a lot of employees who have been working on these, and the work ahead of us is not easy. We are really busy right now executing parts of the strategy, and we haven't even begun to realize what changes are coming. I'm excited about technological breakthroughs that we yet have to see in the next not only 28 years, but beyond that. Those will help us continue to achieve the vision that our board has laid out for us. So thank you for the opportunity to clarify.
All right, thank you very much. If there are any other members of the public in the room that would wish to comment at this time, please move towards the podium. Otherwise, we will take comments from WebEx. No one's moving towards the microphone. Ms. Hinners, are there any requests to chat or comment? All right, Mr. Pollock.
John Pollock, 1412 North 35th Street, Omaha, Nebraska, 68131. Am I audible?
We can hear you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. First of all, I would echo the comments of other people about the line workers doing a fantastic job, and I appreciate that we've had such a large percentage of our energy coming from renewables in March. I realized it was a very windy month and that helped, but it's still exciting to see those numbers going up. As far as the weather goes, the next few days we're in an active weather pattern because we have a strong weather system coming out of the southwest U.S. and heading toward the northern plains and eventually winding up north of the Great Lakes. For our area, it's going to give us a period of warm weather that will last through Saturday, along with a chance of thunderstorms. We are at the edge of an area of possible severe weather, both Friday night into Saturday evening. And it looks like the focus will probably be farther to the west and north on Friday and more to the east on Saturday, but we need to remain alert. After that, it's going to be cooler and dry for a few days, and then we get into the longer term outlook. Normally, of course, late April and May are very active for severe weather. However, the monthly outlook from the Climate Prediction Center, which just came out today, suggests that this La Nina pattern that we've been in is going to continue. This would give us intermediate on temperatures, drier weather than usual through at least the first half of May, and that will increase our chances of a delayed spring green up with more wind than usual.
30 seconds.
Larger thank you. Larger fire hazard, and also even a chance of dust storms originating mostly farther to the south and west of us. We hope not to see it, but we are in a drought region, and we're not really seeing any immediately relief unless we get lucky the next few days. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Are there any other requests to make a comment?
We do not have any additional hand raises or chats.
Okay. With that, then we will adjourn this meeting. Thank you very much.